Good afternoon, teacher and classmates. We are going to talk about the country of Canada. The team is conformed by Cora Gomez, Ilse Llanes, and your servant, Vanessa Marker. I'm going to start talking about the location of the country. In Canada, it is located in the high part of North America and about the United States. And to the west, it borders to the Pacific Ocean, and to the east, it borders to the Atlantic Ocean. Now I will talk about general information of Canada. And first about their currency, which are the Canadian dollar. And also in Canada speak two languages, the English and French. And the English is spoken in most of Canada. Instead, the French is spoken in three parts of the country, which are Quebec, some areas of Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Finally, the type of government constitutes a monarchy with a parliamentary federal system and a strong democratic tradition. Basically, it is a constitutional monarchy. Now I'm going to talk about the historical background of the country. And in this part, I put four important points. Uh, I will explain you now. The number one means the native people who lived in Canada for many years until the French arrived. The arrival of the French happened in 1535. In this year, Canada was claimed as a French colony, and so many years the French colonized them, but this ended in the 1763 with the Treaty of Paris. Uh, an important point in this treaty is that with this same Treaty of the Paris, Canada became part of the British colonies, and finally, in 1982, the country became independent from the British Parliament. Although it still belongs to the so-called Commonwealth, it is a group of nations historically and economically linked to the United Kingdom. Canada is a multicultural country because it has influence of British, French, and indigenous people. Now about the religion to practice in Canada. According to figures provided by Statistics Canada, more than 80% of the Canadian population professes some religious belief. Within this 80%, the 43% correspond to Catholic believers and the 37% to Protestant religion. The rest of the percents belongs to the practice of the other religions such as Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism.
Hello, my name is Cora. I want to talk about the general dressing and the typical Canadian costume for men and women. And although it is true, and typical Canadian costume does not really exist, and that is there is no specific typical costume it has choose. And even so, there are costumes that identify them, and one of them is the mounted police uniform, in which are characteristic symbols of what has been. It is identity and culture that difference in from other countries. And this uniform has a great historical value because it has been used for years. It has even been used since wartime, which gives them great value unlike other suits without though also in Canada. It does not have a typical suit has suits, and this shows and undoubtedly that with earned positions where the most curious thing is that today it is still used by the police.
Hi, my name is Ilse and I will talk to you about social and business etiquette. Women are accepted and valued in the educational field and business. Canada is a leading human rights country. Women have the same rights as men. Canadians are polite, respectful, and oriented to their community as a gesture of responsibility. Different regions of Canada have different ways of greeting. They generally greet each other verbally using the person's last name, although it is possible to find those who prefer to shake hands. They do not regularly hug or kiss the person they just met, so you should try to avoid such practices so as not to create uncomfortable situations. Informal matters such as work meetings, the greeting between men is done with a light handshake, maintaining eye contact. In business meetings and social events, punctuality is very important. Eye contact is important during meetings. Not making eye contact might make the other person think you are shy or unsafe. Canadians will also feel more comfortable speaking when they can look into each other's eyes. Business cards are exchanged at the beginning of the meeting. Decisions are made until the end, once they consider that they have all the necessary information or tools. Particularly in the province of Quebec, the language is which work meetings and meetings are just too commercial is French. In the dress, for men it is formal, with shirt and tie. In the case of women, it is recommended to wear conservative suit or dress.
Communications guidelines. Communications in Canada. Use a firm handshake with good eye contact when meeting and leaving. Both French and English areas use and expect a firm handshake. Other is men will wait for a woman to extend her hand for a handshake. And other is the French Canadians will shake hands more frequently, even with the subsequent encounter the same day. Others may just nod or smile at a subsequent encounter on the same day. And other is use a person title if he or she has one, and otherwise use Mir, Mr., Miss, and the surname. And the other is French Canadians may use their first name when talking to you on the telephone. But will generally use their full name when meeting you in person.
So it's all from us. If you have any question about the presentation, you can send us a Gmail or for Classroom. And so I hope that you have a nice day.